The Galactic Empire extended its reach across star systems, an unstoppable force ruling through sheer power and precision. Entire civilizations had been bent to its will, their worlds either integrated into the imperial fold or wiped out if resistance proved too costly. The Empire's dominance wasn't just maintained through legions of warships and battalions of soldiers, but through something far more efficient, a covert group known as the Elite Assassin Squad. This squad had become the stuff of legend across the galaxy, feared for their ability to eliminate high-profile targets without leaving a trace. Entire governments had collapsed after the squad's quiet visits, their leaders found dead, leaving power vacuums the Empire could easily fill. The Assassin Squad was composed of the galaxy's deadliest individuals, each representing a different alien species, and each one uniquely evolved for combat, stealth, or assassination. One was a light creature from the liquid-breathing Nibiran race, able to dissolve into shadows and pass through walls. Another, from the planet Draxel, was a towering brute with skin as tough as steel and reflexes faster than most could process. Each assassin brought a terrifying combination of biology and technology, armed with advanced weaponry capable of slicing through armor or scrambling neural pathways with just a thought. Their skills and reputation preceded them wherever they went. No mission had ever failed, and no target had ever escaped. Their latest target was Earth. A relatively young race in the galactic arena, humanity had recently caught the attention of the Empire, not through their technological prowess, which paled in comparison to the more advanced species, but through their stubborn defiance. Earth had resisted the Empire's expansionist policies, refusing to submit despite diplomatic pressures and minor skirmishes. This unexpected resilience irritated the Imperial leadership. Earth's refusal to bend the knee was seen as a challenge, albeit an insignificant one. From the Empire's perspective, humanity was a backwater species, hardly worth the effort. They lacked the firepower, the genetic enhancements, and the galactic experience needed to pose any real threat. Yet they were troublesome enough to warrant intervention. Growing impatient with Earth's refusal to capitulate, the Empire's leaders devised a plan. They would not waste time on drawn-out battles or political negotiations. Instead, they decided to cut off the head of the snake by dispatching the Assassin Squad to eliminate key human leaders in a swift and decisive operation. The task was straightforward: neutralize the president of Earth's primary governing body, key military figures, and the heads of intelligence services. Once Earth's leadership was destabilized, the Empire would move in, confident that the planet would fall into chaos and eventually submit. The Empire's frustration was palpable. Humanity's ability to maintain its sovereignty puzzled many of the galaxy's higher species. Earth was seen as technologically backward, its ships clunky and inefficient, its weapons crude compared to the Empire's arsenal. Still, Earth had somehow managed to delay the inevitable. The Empire believed it had been too lenient. Diplomacy had its limits, and now, they would remind the galaxy that defiance had consequences. The Assassin Squad was assembled and briefed. To them, Earth was just another mark on their ever-growing list of successful operations. They had toppled empires far older and far more advanced than this small, insignificant planet. As they reviewed the mission, the squad's members barely registered the human targets. They assumed the operation would be easy, nothing more than a routine infiltration and elimination. The idea of a human force resisting them was laughable. Earth's defenders, whoever they were, wouldn't stand a chance against their superior skills, weapons, and tactics. In the grand halls of the Empire's command center, its rulers and military commanders awaited the results of the mission with a sense of inevitability. Victory was assumed, and discussions had already begun about Earth's future role within the Empire. Some saw potential in Earth's resources, while others debated whether the human population would make useful labor or whether they should be wiped out altogether. The Assassin Squad's success was a mere formality, something that would solidify Earth's place as just another conquered planet in the Empire's ever-expanding domain. As the Assassin Squad prepared to enter Earth's atmosphere, they moved with the confidence of those who had never known defeat. For them, this was just another day. But what they didn't realize was that humanity, though underestimated by the galaxy at large, had something unique, something the Empire hadn't counted on. The mission, which seemed like a guaranteed success, was about to face an unforeseen obstacle. Earth wasn't as defenseless as the Empire believed, and its response would shift the balance in ways the galaxy had never anticipated. Earth's leadership knew the Empire would send its assassins, and they understood that brute force would be ineffective against such highly trained, technologically superior killers. Instead, Earth's High Command had a different plan, a plan rooted in ancient traditions that the galaxy, with all its advanced technology, could not comprehend. They deployed not an army, but a single individual, a ninja. This warrior was not just any soldier. The ninja represented centuries of refined martial skill, discipline, and an unmatched mastery of stealth and precision. Where the Empire relied on overwhelming force and advanced weaponry, Earth's response was calculated and silent. The ninja's identity remained hidden, known to only a select few in human leadership. This shadowy figure had trained for years, mastering an art that blended ancient martial techniques with cutting-edge technology. The ninja had no need for bulky armor or energy weapons. Instead, they relied on finesse, speed, and a sharp mind, equipped only with what was necessary: camouflaging gear, soundless weapons, and sensory enhancements. Every movement was deliberate, every action calculated. They were an invisible force, a predator lurking just beyond sight. As the assassin squad descended upon Earth, they spread out quickly, each targeting key human figures with ruthless efficiency. They moved across the globe with deadly purpose, cloaked in invisibility, armed with energy blades and psionic trackers that allowed them to find their targets without being detected. These assassins had never faced a challenge that their superior firepower couldn't overcome. They were confident, assured of their success, expecting to dispatch their human targets with ease. From their perspective, this was just another routine mission, one they would complete without difficulty. But as the assassins moved in, something unexpected happened. One by one, they began to lose contact with their squadmates. It started with small delays, communication dropping off momentarily, then silence. The first assassin, a hulking creature from the Zaru race, armed with cloaking tech and a bio-augmented suit, approached their target with all the assurance of past victories. But before they could strike, something struck first. A blur in the shadows. A silent, lethal force. The assassin had no time to react. In an instant they were disarmed, their advanced weaponry useless against an unseen foe. The ninja moved with lightning speed, striking from angles the alien couldn't anticipate. Within moments, the assassin lay dead, utterly unaware of what had attacked them. For the first time, the Empire's finest met an enemy they didn't see coming. The ninja vanished just as quickly as they had appeared, leaving nothing behind but the body of their victim. As more assassins moved toward their targets, they began to notice something was off. Where there should have been quick victories, there was confusion. Communication lines went silent, and assassins began to sense they were not alone. One by one, they encountered a force they could not detect, a shadow that seemed to know their every move. Their technology, which had always given them the upper hand, was suddenly useless. Their psionic trackers couldn't find the ninja. Their cloaking devices couldn't hide them. Every move they made was anticipated, every attack countered with precision and finesse. One assassin, armed with a psionic blade and trained to manipulate minds, attempted to hunt the ninja using their psychic abilities. But the ninja had trained for years to control their mind and emotions. The psychic attack faltered, and in the brief moment of hesitation, the ninja struck. The alien, caught off guard by the sheer discipline of the human warrior, fell before they could even comprehend what had happened. Fear began to creep into the minds of the remaining assassins. These were beings who had never known fear, beings who had only ever been the predators. Now they were being hunted. Their confidence, once unshakable, began to waver as they realized they were up against something far more dangerous than they had imagined. They had underestimated humanity, assumed Earth would crumble under their assault. Instead, they found themselves in a fight for survival, battling an enemy they couldn't see or predict. Each encounter was the same. The ninja didn't rely on brute force. They didn't use flashy weapons or overpower their foes. Instead, they exploited the weaknesses of their opponents, moving like a ghost through the battlefield. The assassins, despite their advanced technology, couldn't adapt. They were overwhelmed by the ninjas' mastery of stealth and misdirection. For every attempt they made to track their adversary, they found themselves outmaneuvered. The ninja was always one step ahead, always in the right place at the right time. As the assassins regrouped, communicating nervously through their hidden channels, they began to realize the gravity of their situation. They were no longer the hunters, they were the hunted. Each of them, elite as they were, now feared for their life. The mission, which had seemed so simple, had become a nightmare. Their numbers dwindled, and the ninja was still out there, waiting, watching. The once confident squad now moved with caution, their bravado replaced by uncertainty. They had been dispatched to make a statement, to demonstrate the Empire's dominance over Earth. But Earth had responded with something far more devastating, a silent warrior whose centuries-old training had prepared them for exactly this moment. And now, the assassins were running out of time. Their growing unease was palpable. They had come to Earth expecting an easy conquest, but they were now faced with an enemy that didn't play by their rules. The ninja didn't rely on superior firepower or advanced technology. They relied on something far more ancient, far more dangerous: the ability to disappear into the shadows, to strike without warning, and to leave no trace behind. The assassins were being undone, and the Empire's grand plan was beginning to unravel. The last few assassins, once confident in their dominance, now moved with desperation. Their squad had been systematically dismantled, one by one, with frightening efficiency. What was supposed to be a simple mission had turned into a nightmare. The remaining assassins, highly trained and armed with advanced technology, tried to adapt, hoping that their combined strength and tech could still give them an edge. But the ninja had already outmaneuvered them at every turn. Their enhanced cloaking devices and psionic abilities meant nothing against the humans' mastery of stealth and precision. They activated thermal imaging, infrared scans, and even motion sensors, every tool they had at their disposal to track their unseen enemy. But the ninja moved like a shadow, blending into the environment seamlessly. For every scan the assassins ran, the ninja was always somewhere just beyond their reach. The galaxy's finest killers, equipped with superior technology, were being bested by a single human. It was a testament to humanity's unique blend of ingenuity, adaptability, and an ancient tradition that had honed warriors into perfect instruments of silent death. The leader of the assassins, the most dangerous and skilled of the group, realized their squad was on the verge of total annihilation. This assassin was different. Unlike the others, they were a veteran of countless galactic conflicts, a true master of psionic combat and advanced weaponry. If anyone could turn the tide, it would be them. Rallying what was left of their group, they set an elaborate trap, using their mental prowess to scan for the slightest hint of the ninja's presence. But the ninja, as always, was prepared. The human operative had been studying the assassins, learning their movements, their tactics. They weren't just fighting blindly, they were anticipating, calculating. The moment the assassin leader revealed themselves, the ninja had already devised a plan. Every step the leader took, every motion they made to lure out their foe, only played into the ninja's hands. The final confrontation between the two was swift. The assassin unleashed a barrage of energy blasts and psionic waves, trying to corner the ninja, but the human remained elusive. Where the assassin relied on overwhelming strength and aggression, the ninja waited patiently, avoiding direct conflict until the perfect opportunity presented itself. And when it did, the attack was lethal. The ninja struck with such precision and speed that the assassin barely had time to process what had happened. A single, expertly timed blow ended the fight. As the leader fell, the ninja stood in the quiet aftermath. There was no celebration, no sense of triumph. The mission was complete. Earth's safety had been secured, but for the ninja, it was just another mission. The assassins, feared across the galaxy, lay defeated, their elite squad utterly decimated. The ninja, their face still hidden, faded back into the shadows, leaving behind no trace of their presence other than the fallen bodies of their enemies. News of the failure reached the Galactic Empire, throwing its leaders into disarray. They had expected victory. No, they had counted on it. The elite assassin squad had never failed before. How could a single human, a primitive species from a backwater planet, manage to eliminate the galaxy's most feared killers? There was disbelief, confusion, and a growing sense of panic. Humanity, it seemed, had become something the Empire hadn't accounted for. The Empire's rulers had always viewed Earth as a minor obstacle in their grand plan of conquest. Humanity was technologically inferior, isolated, and seemingly insignificant compared to the vast power of the Empire. But now, after the crushing defeat of their assassin squad, the Empire was forced to reevaluate its stance. They had underestimated Earth's true strength, not in terms of weapons or ships, but in their adaptability, their strategic brilliance, and their ancient traditions of combat. Humans had shown that they were not easily broken. Back on Earth, the message was clear: humanity would not be conquered. The Galactic community, which had once dismissed humans as weak, began to take notice. This was not the same Earth they had overlooked for so long. Though their technology was not the most advanced, humanity had proven that they could match and even surpass the galaxy's most dangerous forces with sheer ingenuity and determination. The Empire, now reeling from its defeat, understood that they were dealing with a new kind of threat. Earth had become a symbol of resistance, and its people, once thought easy to subjugate, were now seen as a formidable opponent. The ninja's victory had sent ripples across the stars. This was just the beginning. As the Empire's leaders regrouped, they began to make new plans. There would be consequences for the defeat, and Earth would not be allowed to challenge the Empire so easily again. But this time, they knew they had to approach humanity with caution. They could no longer afford to underestimate the species that had defied them so completely. Humanity's rise in the galaxy had begun. The Empire would prepare for future confrontations, but they now knew that Earth was no longer a simple conquest. It was a force to be reckoned with, one that would continue to surprise them. And as tensions simmered, the galaxy braced for the next encounter with humanity, knowing that the balance of power had shifted forever.